Hey, it's getting towards the end of May 2024, and I'm just planting out my corn. I know I said I'd bring you along for each thing that I planted, but some of the things you just kind of, when you have the time, you get out and do it. You forget about the camera, but I'm trying my best. So I set up this netting this year. I ordered from Amazon. It wasn't the right stuff. I was looking for the netting people use when they're growing cut flowers. So it's more like a plastic, I guess. It's stronger and it had bigger holes in it. This is nylon, which I guess is good. I think it's compostable. I'll have to check. But the gaps were way smaller than I anticipated. Anyway, it'll work. Um, I just have it low right now so I can plant. But as the corn grows, I plan to pull it up on these posts, maybe about 6 inches. And then I'll do another layer, maybe another 6 inches or so. We'll see how it goes. I'm just trying to stop the corn from blowing over, is really what I'm doing. I've done the posts around and just tied twine in the past, but that doesn't work. The ones in the middle still seem to fall over, so I'm hoping this will actually keep them standing straight up. So I'm doing this bed and this bed in corn. I've already planted this one, but I haven't covered it yet. So I don't know if you can see the little guy here. Little guy here. I've gone with 8 inch spacing this time, so it's 8, 72 kernels I think I planted in this bed. Okay, baby. So now I'm gonna cover these over, and then I'm gonna start with that bed. I do use a measuring tape so I can get the actual inches. I'm a little crazy like that. Um, and I'll get that one planted, and then the corn will be done. This bed, however, the maturity date, I think it's like 55 or 65 days on it. So I'm really hoping we might be able to plant it twice. That's my goal. I have another type of corn that's also like a 55 to 65 day, and I'm hoping to put that in here when this corn is done. This corn over here is a 78 day to 80 something day, so they won't cross pollinate. So I don't know if I'll be able to replant that one because that'll be a lot later. But I was going to try to set you up with my tripod, but I can't seem to find it right now. But I'll show you right quick before I get back to this, the disaster of my broken beds. I guess it's not really a disaster. We're doing what we need to do. So we dug out all along the side here and here because that whole side is going to be replaced. And we dug down the soil level. We used the soil actually out of the beds to top off a few of my other garden beds. So this one, you can see that this side and this side were broken. So we dug out around there. And the wood, I don't know if you can see, is right there. That's going to replace it. I'm just waiting for my husband to get back from work so he can help me with this. And then this one is broken along here. And it's kind of pushing out on this side, so I think I'm going to have to dig a little bit more out of there. But I'm trying to get rid of a lot of the soil out of here because it's really compacted. I've never had my garden bed soil so compacted before. I've been told maybe it's because of the 150 centimeters of snow that was on it this winter. But I'm trying to fluff it up. I usually do like a no-till, no-dig kind of method with my beds, but they're just hard as a rock. And I'm putting sweet potatoes out here. And, well, you know sweet potatoes need nice fluffy soil. So I'm actually going to put a couple bags of potting mix in here to fluff them up, I guess. And I'm going to get some sand to mix in with them. And then we'll get them filled up after they're fixed, of course. And look at these leeks. They're still going from last year. They're still in the pot. They're just completely rooted, which is hilarious. Anyway, I haven't had the heart to rip them out yet. I guess we could do a quick little tour. I did look under and there was a few patches that hadn't, so I've just kind of left it on. They're growing because they're still getting lots of sun, but it's keeping my cats out. So I'm kind of trying to leave it that way until it's nice enough that the cats will leave it alone. I don't know if you can see with my shadow in right here. These are the leeks. There we go. Couldn't remember what they were. Leeks in this bed and the celery. The new growth looks nice. The old growth, not so much, but they are rooted. Those onions have rooted and they're starting to put off new growth. We topped those two beds, and my kids have designated this as their play garden until I plant it. They're planting dandelions. They're so sweet. They're actually pulling apart the flowers and planting them. Yep. They're having fun. That's all that matters. This bed is where my zucchini is going to be. I've got them planted underneath the domes. I've only did that about 3 days ago, so they won't be up yet. These are some zinnias that I had in pots or little plug trays that were struggling to live. So I just kind of put them on here. There'll be tomatoes along here, and then the cherry tomatoes going up here. But these zucchinis are going to take up so much space that nothing else can really go in here. I might try to squeeze a couple more flowers down this way, but we'll see. Same as this bed, and I did get one other bed planted. It was my brassica bed. It was a nice cloudy day one day, so maybe 2-3 days ago. So I got them all in. I did say I wasn't going to plant close together this year. No, I did. I can't help myself. So everything in the back is Brussels sprouts. All the ones in the front are cabbages. Then the second row are heading broccoli. They're purple though. This front row is sprouting broccoli. And then we have one row down the middle of kale. And they're just all different types of kale that I planted. This is not covering, so my bugs are going to get in. I need to keep this for those damn moths. So yeah, a little quick impromptu tour. I can show more in a little bit, but I'm going to get back to that corn. Hi, Gingy. Oh, and I did put out some tomatoes. I redid these that I had last year, just because they're always so cute. All right, I'll get back to you in a bit. Bye. Hey, it's been a few days since I planted the corn and kind of forgot to come back to that video, so I'm just pulling out the camera now. I'm out here weeding and pulling up the white cloth off of the carrots. And as you can see in this bed, germination was decent, I guess. Some squares better than others. Like this square, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Maybe 7 here. 7. You know, it's, I'd say 50% maybe germination. I'm going to leave this bed just because there is, you know, at least half of them had germinated. And I just weeded the rest. There was some volunteer cilantro, so I just left that because my tomatoes are going to be going here. But over in this bed, I did this bed yesterday, I believe, so it's been rained on since. I just finished with this bed, and the germination was pathetic. 4 here, 4 there, 3 there, 1 there, none there, and none there. So I gotta decide what I want to do. Am I gonna reseed or put something else there? And I honestly haven't decided yet because I just finished this a few minutes ago. So let me finish the other 2 beds, see how the germination rate was on them. And then if they're both really good germination and that one was okay, I might just put something else here. But if it's spotty germination in all 4 beds, I will resow the carrots because carrots are an absolute staple in my garden. The kids just eat them fresh out of the garden all summer long, so I'd be in a lot of trouble if I didn't have carrots for my kids to eat. So yeah, let me do these 2 beds, and I'll get back to you and see what I decide. Okay, I'm back after finishing the last 2 beds, and I don't know if you can see that little square with them in there. It's the only one that germinated. There's not a carrot to be found in the rest of this bed. I don't know what happened, why I've had the worst germination rate of carrots in my entire life. I'm baffled. This bed, I don't know, maybe 40% came up. The ones down on that end were a bit better than this end. I'm kind of stumped. These were brand new carrot seeds, pelleted from Johnny's. They weren't cheap. They weren't old. They weren't planted deep. They were covered. They were watered well. I'm very stumped. Yeah. So this one, I think, because it still has, 40, 50%, I'm just going to go in and put a seed where it didn't germinate. I won't bother covering it because I don't want to cover these ones up anymore, and see if I can get them to germinate. That's if I have seeds left, I guess. This one, I'll probably do the same. Just come in where they didn't germinate and reseed. These 2 beds, I don't know. This one's got a few that I'd hate to lose. These last squares have none. This one has 1. That has 3, 4, and 4. So I don't know if I'll pop seeds in and cover this one. I might do that. But I definitely am going to go back and fill in the spots. And this one, kind of torn. I would just have to redo this one completely and then probably cover it again. Or I might put something else in there. Maybe put more brassicas in this bed, because that's my only brassica bed. And I usually do way more brassicas than that. Especially like the sprouting broccoli and stuff. My kids love that. Come by and pick off a little broccoli head and eat it. So I'm tempted to do that in here. Just put a broccoli plant in each one of those squares instead. I'm still going to do the beets. Well, I'm still going to do the beets in these 3 beds, for sure. I'm stumped on this one now. If I want to put beets or if I just want to do a double row of broccoli. Or maybe some more kale. I have lots left over. I started way more than I could ever need. There is a spot in my backyard where I will put some more kale and Brussels sprouts. But again, I have tons that I can use up. And I usually like to use this bed as a brassica bed because it doesn't get the full hot sun all the time. So it usually does better than the carrots and the beets. Ooh, the decisions. Maybe I will. I'll put the brassicas in this bed. And I'll do the carrots and the beets in these 3 beds like planned. And then when these all go to seed and start flowering, I will pull them out, replant carrots and beets for a fall crop. I think that'll work. What do you think? Leave something in the comments if you think that's a good idea or not. I'm just kind of thinking on the fly here with you guys. Again, I'm just stumped over the germination rate. I really expected better, but I don't know. I guess it is what it is. I got more labels today. I ran out of them again. My kid's bed. I have to take this back soon. I'm putting peppers out shortly, and they're not going to be very happy that they're going to lose their gigantic little sandbox garden bed. But I did get out some tomatoes the other day, and I got these cheap little things at the dollar store. See if you can see in there. There's the tomatoes. Just to keep the wind off them, really, because the wind blows so hard through here. I got them in. Got the onions all done. Again, this is going to be my salsa bed. So in between onions, I'm going to have peppers. I'll put cilantro underneath the tomatoes. I'm debating if I'm going to throw some garlic in here somewhere. Maybe some garlic chives or something. I don't know. I feel like this is such a waste of space when the plants are only this small. I'm like, oh, I could put something here and here and here. But these plants are going to get fairly large. They are dwarf tomato plants, though. So they're not going to get more than 3 to 4 feet tall. But they will get at least a foot or two wide. So these are probably actually too close. But I'm one of those gardeners that puts things together too close every year and then complains at the end of the season when there's no room. Oh, and the squash. I don't know if you can see inside these containers have germinated. See there? I'm going to leave these on though for a while because it's only 12 degrees today, I believe. It's going to be like this for the next 3 days, so I don't want them to get cold. And those were the zinnia flowers I popped in. They didn't die, but I don't know if they really grew any bigger. I did pop seeds in all around them, and I don't see any of those popping up yet. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. And all the other onions are doing well. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna go see what I have left for carrot seeds and get these planted out. I'm supposed to be potting up peppers right now. I was letting them soak because they were a little too dry. I figured I'd weed one bed and then go back, and then I got distracted. So anyway, I'll keep you updated on what the plan is or what I end up doing. I'm getting a little cold, so maybe I'll pot up one tray of peppers and then come back out and do the carrots because it is really windy too, and it's hard to plant carrots in the wind. All right, I'll be back, let you know what happens. Bye. Okay, we're back. I have finished planting for the day. I ultimately decided to reseed these 3 beds. I ran out of carrots for that one that was the same variety, so I had to use the leftovers that were in that bed there. And then we did the brassicas, so they're all nicely watered in now. I'm not going to cover them. I'm just going to see how this works. Hopefully some of them will germinate. We're supposed to have like cloud and rain for the next 3 days, so I'm hoping that'll get them going. And then in this bed I went with the broccolis. So there was that one square that actually had carrots in it, and I left it. So we'll see what happens with them. This back row is a purple heading broccoli, so it should hopefully head up to a nice size. And then these ones here are a mix of mini broccoli burgundy and mini, what does it say? Mini broccoli bonadero, maybe? Something? Bonadera. They are the sprouting broccolis, so they just put off the little heads, and that's what my kids like. They like to come out and just snack on those. I did fertilize after I planted them. Wow, the celery on the phone looks lime green. That's interesting. It does not look like that in real life. So I just gave everything a little fertilizer. I went around with some worm castings, and it's a mix of, it's like chicken pellets and bone meal, and then just some blood meal on some of the greens, and then watered them in. I'll show you the corn bed even though there's no germination yet. These tomatoes are still looking nice. So yeah, they're all planted. And now we're just waiting on germination. I'm hoping this net trellis thing will actually work. Keep trying to peek and see if I see any little tips poking through, but I don't see any yet. But I don't even think it's been 3 days since I planted that, so. And this is all still such a mess. Once I get everything planted, I'm actually ripping up all this weed fabric. I'm gonna scrape it all down, and we're gonna put grass back in here. I think it'll just be so much neater and easier. With this stuff, the water wasn't going through properly and it was flooding, and I kept having to buy mulch, and that stuff's not cheap. So, like you can see, there's still some here, but it's just kind of a mess, and it's weedy. So, but that'll be a process of its own. You can even see, like, the grass is already starting to try to come back in places, but there's weed and mesh stuff, whatever that's called, underneath that grass. So it's just growing over the top of it. And I don't know if I showed you these or not. Oh, and I do have another net, like these ones, that will go over that. It's just in my basement. I have to go get it. Trying to keep those moths off my plants. These are probably doubled in size since I planted them. They're looking good. I see there's been a few slugs in there. I'll have to keep an eye on that. But anyway, just wanted to show you the update. This video is going to be like 3 or 4 videos put together. I'm just going to post it tonight because I don't think I posted anything in a while. And then I am doing a greenhouse update. So stay tuned for that. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.